Today, the air feels heavier, and Virgo, you can sense it even if others cannot explain it. Something in the atmosphere has shifted, and the resistance around you is not random. September 26 marks a point where energy exposes what has been hidden, and that exposure often comes in the form of opposition. You may notice whispers behind your back, sudden criticism that feels unfair, or people misunderstanding your intentions without cause. This is not coincidence. It is the stirring of the haters, the revealing of shadows that cannot remain silent when your light is rising. You were not brought here by chance. You are in the middle of what can only be described as a cosmic test, a moment where the universe allows pressure to come not to harm you, but to strengthen the shield that already surrounds you. The test is not meant to break you. It is meant to show you that your spirit is stronger than the noise around it. The opposition that stirs today is a sign that you are crossing into new territory, and resistance always appears when destiny sharpens. Promise and threat move side by side. The promise is this: if you recognize the pattern and stay aligned, you walk through the storm untouched, carrying the blessings that envy cannot steal. The threat is this: if you absorb the negativity, if you let it pull you into drama, then karmic traps can form around your feet. Awareness is your first weapon. Seeing the truth clearly is your first shield. Perhaps you have already noticed the signals: the conversation that twisted your words, the colleague who suddenly turned distant, the family member who projected their fear onto your choices. These are not random irritations. They are signs that your vibration is pressing against old structures, and those structures are resisting. Virgo, you are not cursed. You are confirmed. The weight you feel proves the rising you have triggered. Stay until the end of this message, because there will be a decree that seals your shield for this day. Without it, the test remains open. With it, your line of energy is closed, your protection activated, and your haters silenced by the force of your alignment. But before the decree, you must understand why you attract resistance at all, and how your hidden strength is the very reason shadows stir against you. Virgo, your life has been a long rehearsal in silence, and that silence has never been weakness. It has been discipline. You have carried responsibilities others avoided. You have held back words that could have exploded situations. And you have chosen service even when recognition never came. This quiet strength has built a foundation that is unshakable. But because it was invisible, many around you misread it. They assumed your silence meant submission, when in truth it meant power being sharpened. They mistook your discipline for rigidity, when in reality it was a shield forged in patience. This hidden strength is the very reason others grow restless around you. They sense it even when you say nothing. Your aura carries a weight that unsettles those who have not built their own. When you walk into a room, your stability reveals their chaos. When you speak calmly, their insecurities grow louder. This is not about what you do to them. It is about what your energy exposes. Your light becomes their mirror, and not everyone can stand the reflection of their own shadows. For years, you endured quietly. You sowed seeds of consistency while others scattered theirs in distraction. You stayed the course while they chased shortcuts. And now, as your seeds begin to rise, as life prepares to show the fruit of your labor, the tension increases. Envy awakens because your progress reminds others of what they abandoned in themselves. The resistance you feel is not punishment, but proof that your roots are breaking through the surface. Virgo, this is why haters stir. Not because you seek conflict, but because your hidden strength can no longer remain hidden. It rises naturally, and with it comes reaction. Those who underestimated you now feel unsettled. Those who dismissed you begin to question their own choices. The discomfort they project onto you is not truly about you. It is about their reflection in your growth. This awareness changes everything. Instead of taking attacks personally, you begin to see them as confirmation. You understand that your endurance has created a power that disturbs stagnant waters. And that realization leads us into the deeper mystical framework of this day. where the cosmos itself explains why opposition manifests on September 26. There is always an unseen design behind what appears in daily life, and today that design reveals itself as a test of alignment. The resistance you feel is not random. It is spiritual engineering, a way of pressing against you to reveal both your strength and your shield. September 26 carries the vibration of confrontation, not to destroy you, but to refine you. Virgo, you are walking through a cosmic classroom, and the lesson is about protection, clarity, and trust in your path. Astrology whispers its message through the quarter moon, a phase often linked to tension, a moment when energy pulls in two directions. This is the nature of quadrature. It presses, it stretches, it demands choice. Under this influence, you may notice more misunderstandings, small conflicts, or feelings of being judged unfairly. Do not mistake this pressure for failure. It is simply the cosmos reminding you that strength is sharpened through contrast. Without friction, no shield can shine. Numerology speaks as well, and today its number is 666, a vibration of recalibration. While many fear it, the truth is simpler. 6 is about balance, about restoring order when things have tilted too far. When tripled, it signals an urgent adjustment. The opposition you face is not chaos, it is the universe forcing balance. Those who stir against you today are instruments of that recalibration, even if they do not know it. The signs appear clearly. Gossip may surface without warning. A sudden wave of criticism might rise from someone you trusted. Words could be twisted, actions misunderstood. These are the ripples of the cosmic tension, and they are not punishments. They are invitations to respond differently. The key is awareness. Awareness shifts the energy from panic to purpose. Virgo, your test is not about fighting back with the same force. It is about standing so steady in your truth that the noise around you cannot penetrate. The quadrature energy reveals the battle, but your spirit decides the outcome. See the patterns for what they are, and you will no longer be caught in their net. This framework sets the stage for clarity, because once you understand the cosmic reason behind opposition, you can finally explore the first root of resistance, the way your light naturally reveals the shadows in others. The first reason haters stir against you today is simple. Your light exposes what others try to hide. Virgo, you carry an energy of order, precision, and quiet resilience, and when that energy enters a room, it becomes a mirror. Those who live in chaos cannot help but feel it reflected back at them. Those who mask insecurity sense their cover slipping when you stand near. Without speaking a word, you reveal truths that others would rather keep buried. Your clarity of spirit makes their shadows louder. This is why envy rises without cause. Someone may criticize your attention to detail, but beneath their words lies discomfort with their own lack of discipline. Another may mock your calmness, but deep inside they are unsettled because your peace reminds them of their inner storms. It is not truly you they resist, it is the reflection of themselves they cannot face. Haters project onto you because they do not yet have the courage to confront their own shadows. The symptoms of this projection are familiar. You offer help and receive resistance. You extend kindness and are met with suspicion. You share a solution and watch it dismissed. These moments sting because you know your intention is pure, yet the reaction feels hostile. Virgo, understand this. The hostility is not proof of your failure. It is proof of your light. Darkness reacts when light walks in, even when the light is gentle. Imagine a Virgo who enters a workplace where gossip thrives. They say little, they simply do their job with excellence, and yet whispers grow. The whispers are not about mistakes, but about the discomfort of being reminded that mediocrity cannot hide forever. This is how your energy works. Without trying, you reveal. The danger is in dimming your light to avoid conflict. Too often, Virgo chooses to shrink, to soften, to become smaller so others feel comfortable. But that choice betrays your destiny. You are not here to hide your order. You are here to embody it. The protocol is to stay grounded. Breathe deep, anchor yourself in truth, and remember the affirmation: "My light is protection." Say it when resistance rises, let it echo in your spirit, and watch as the projection loses its power. And once you accept that your light reveals shadows, you will understand the second reason haters stir. Your growth disturbs the stagnation around you. The second reason haters stir against you is because your growth unsettles those who remain stagnant. Virgo, you were never meant to stay still. Even in silence, you evolve. Even in hardship, you refine. Your steady climb, step by step, may not always be visible, but its results cannot be denied. And when people who have refused to move see you rising, something inside them shakes. Your progress exposes their paralysis, and instead of choosing growth for themselves, they often choose envy. This is the paradox you face. You may think your achievements are small, but to others they shine like signals of their own delay. You secure a new opportunity, and suddenly someone dismisses it as luck. You reach a milestone, and someone insists it is not impressive. You share good news, and they respond with silence. These reactions are not about the value of your progress. They are about the discomfort your movement creates in those who chose to stay behind. Cosmically, this moment reflects the energy of a trine, a flow of doors opening with ease. For Virgo, doors that were once locked are beginning to open, and this flow is undeniable. But when you walk through those doors, those who refuse to knock feel the sting of missed chances. Your blessing becomes their mirror, and mirrors can wound those who do not want to see themselves. Picture a Virgo who has worked quietly on a project, investing long nights in silence. One day, that project receives recognition, perhaps through an opportunity, a promotion, or even simple praise. Instead of celebration, some around them respond with coldness. The growth of Virgo disturbs the stagnation of others. But Virgo, this is not a call to apologize for your success. Too often you minimize yourself to make others feel safe. You downplay achievements, you hide victories, you shrink joy. But shrinking serves no one. Your growth is not arrogance, it is testimony. You show others what is possible when discipline and patience meet divine timing. The affirmation for this key is, "I own my growth without apology." Speak it when you feel the sting of envy. Remind yourself that movement is your birthright, and know that abundance will always attract attention. And as your growth unsettles stagnation, remember there is yet a deeper reason for resistance. Your very destiny disrupts old systems, and that truth cannot remain hidden. The third reason haters stir against you is because your destiny itself challenges the old systems they cling to. Virgo, you were born with the blueprint of service, order, and integrity. These qualities are not merely personal, they are revolutionary. When you step into your true path, you naturally disrupt environments built on shortcuts, dishonesty, or complacency. Your presence becomes a quiet rebellion against broken structures, and those invested in those structures feel threatened. This is why resistance often rises in places of authority or tradition. At work, you may suggest a solution that exposes inefficiency, and instead of being embraced, it is mocked. In family, you may break patterns of silence, and instead of being celebrated, you are resisted. In friendships, you may hold a boundary, and instead of respect, you meet pushback. The reaction is not about you personally. It is about the systems you are challenging just by standing in truth. Virgo, this opposition is evidence that you are aligned with destiny. Destiny is never neutral. It shakes what is stagnant. It cracks what is false. It awakens what is asleep. Those who resist you are not fighting you. They are fighting the collapse of the illusions they have built around themselves. The irony is that your role is not to destroy, but to bring order. Yet even order feels like chaos to those who profit from disorder. Imagine a Virgo in a workplace where dishonesty is normalized. With simple consistency and truth, they expose what others ignore. The system reacts defensively, gossip grows, Attempts to discredit appear. But this resistance does not mean failure. It means confirmation. You would not be opposed if your presence were not shaking foundations. The danger is believing that this opposition is a sign to retreat. Too often, Virgo silences their voice to avoid conflict. But silence only strengthens the very systems you were born to challenge. You are not here to be comfortable. You are here to be catalytic. Anchor yourself in the affirmation, "I walk in destiny unshaken." Let these words remind you that resistance is proof of your impact, not proof of your weakness. The more your path disturbs, the more it reveals its necessity. And while the outer world stirs with conflict, the greater battle always lies within, where your desire for peace wrestles against your calling to stand firm. Inside you, Virgo, the greater battle rages. It is not the noise outside that most threatens your path. It is the tension within. On one side lives your deep desire for peace, for harmony, for keeping the waters calm even if it means swallowing your truth. On the other side burns your calling, the unshakable urge to stand firm, to speak with clarity, to live authentically even if it provokes resistance. This tug of war is your constant companion, a cosmic pull between pleasing others and honoring yourself. You have always known this struggle. As a child, you may have learned to stay quiet to avoid conflict. As an adult, you may still silence your ideas so others will not feel uncomfortable. And yet, each time you shrink, something inside you aches, as if your very soul mourns the voice you buried. This is the inner war of Virgo. The heart knows its power, but the mind fears rejection. It feels like a storm contained within your chest. One part whispers, "Stay quiet. Avoid the fight. Do not stir the waters." Another part shouts, "This is your truth, your light, your path. Why should you dim it for anyone?" The pressure builds until you feel restless, torn between two choices, neither of which feels easy. But the truth is that the battle only has one real outcome, because destiny does not release those it has claimed. The resistance outside is simply a mirror of this war inside. The gossip, the criticism, the envy, all of it reflects the question you still wrestle with. Will you live to be accepted, or will you live to be aligned? The test is not about pleasing others. It is about choosing authenticity over approval. Imagine a Virgo sitting at a table surrounded by people who dismiss their ideas. The urge rises to speak, to correct, to shine. But fear whispers, "Stay silent." In that moment, the choice becomes cosmic. One path leads to comfort, but emptiness. The other leads to conflict, but fulfillment. Virgo, the time has come to choose alignment over appeasement. Not every battle must be fought, but your truth must not be silenced. And to prove how this choice transforms reality, we turn now to a story, a living testimony of signs, resistance, and the ritual that shifted everything. There was once a Virgo who knew this conflict well. They lived with discipline, gave with quiet hands, and moved forward step by step. Yet the more they grew, the louder the whispers became. Colleagues dismissed their success as chance. Family members twisted their intentions, and friends grew distant as envy disguised itself as criticism. It felt suffocating, as if every step forward triggered another wave of resistance. One evening, overwhelmed by the noise, they sat alone, questioning if it was worth continuing. Then the signs began to appear. On the screen of their phone glowed the number 222, a whisper of alignment and divine balance. Later that night, a receipt carried 777, the vibration of miracles already unfolding. These were not coincidences. They were confirmations that the resistance was not meant to stop them, but to test their shield. The universe was speaking, reminding them that opposition is often the last barrier before breakthrough. Instead of reacting with anger or falling into despair, this Virgo chose a different response. They lit a single candle, closed their eyes, and placed their hand on their chest. With each slow breath, they imagined light surrounding them, forming a shield that no gossip, no criticism, no envy could pierce. They whispered aloud a decree. I am protected. My destiny is shielded. My abundance flows. The flame flickered, and with it came a peace they had not felt in weeks. The next morning, something shifted. The whispers no longer felt heavy. The criticism no longer pierced. The same people still stirred, but their words fell powerless against the shield. Opportunities began to flow again, clarity returned, and the Virgo realized that the ritual had not changed others, it had changed them. By choosing alignment over reaction, they disarmed the energy that fed the resistance. The moral is clear: energy responds to consciousness. When you fight fire with fire, the flames grow. When you root yourself in light, the storm loses power. The ritual was not grand, but it was precise: intention, breath, decree. And through it, protection became real. Virgo, this story is not a distant tale, it is your mirror. The same shield awaits you, and the same confirmations will follow. To recognize them, you must know how protection speaks, how alignment proves itself, and what signs will confirm that you have already passed the test. The signs of protection and alignment are never loud, yet they are undeniable once you learn to see them. Virgo, your sensitivity to detail makes you naturally equipped to notice what others overlook, and this gift becomes your greatest ally. When the shield around you activates, confirmations begin to ripple through your experience. They come not as grand gestures, but as subtle shifts that reveal the gate has heard you. The first signs are physical. You may feel chills brush across your skin when no breeze is present. You may wake with a sense of lightness, as though the weight that once pressed on your chest has vanished. You may feel a sudden calm in situations that once triggered anxiety. These bodily confirmations are whispers of your protection settling into place. Next come the numbers, those repeating codes that the universe uses as stamps of alignment. 222 appears to affirm balance, reminding you that you are not alone but held in harmony. 777 emerges to declare that a miracle is already unfolding, even if you cannot yet see it. 1111 may flicker on clocks or receipts, signaling that the portal is open and you are walking in rhythm with it. Each number is not random, it is a signpost marking the path. Emotional confirmations follow closely. Where once there was restlessness, you feel peace. Where once there was doubt, you sense quiet confidence. Even your relationships may shift. Conversations that once ended in conflict may soften, or people who drained your energy may simply fade from your orbit. Protection does not always roar. It often clears gently, creating space where heaviness once lived. If signs do not appear immediately, do not panic. Sometimes the universe speaks in dreams, sending images, symbols, or voices that reveal the truth within 2 nights. Trust that silence is not absence but incubation. The signs are on their way. To keep your alignment strong, create one daily practice. Breathe deeply 3 times, whisper your decree of protection, and make one physical gesture that affirms order: lighting a candle, cleaning a space, or writing a word of strength. These acts keep the shield alive, but guard against the traps that undo alignment. Avoid oversharing your victories with those who cannot celebrate them. Avoid defending yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. Avoid engaging in drama designed to pull you back into cycles you have already left. Virgo, the less you feed the noise, the weaker it becomes. And once you are rooted in this awareness, you are ready for the decree that seals your shield on this very day. Virgo, the hour has come to seal what this day has revealed. September 26 has not been about punishment, but about proof. The resistance you faced, the whispers that rose, the criticism that stung, none of it appeared to break you. It appeared to confirm you. Today has been a cosmic test, and every stir against you was simply evidence that your destiny has weight, that your presence has power, and that your light cannot remain hidden. Now the decree must be spoken, for without it the shield remains incomplete. This is the moment to stand tall, to let your words carry the authority of your spirit, and to declare with certainty, I am shielded. My destiny is protected. My abundance flows. Do not whisper it in hesitation. Speak it as though the ground itself needs to hear it, as though the unseen forces around you must bow to its sound. Say it until your chest expands, until your heart steadies, until your breath feels anchored again. This decree is not a plea, it is a claim. It is the key that locks the door behind you, preventing old energies from following. It is the mark that closes today's test with triumph. Each word forms a wall of light around you, making every projection fall powerless, every whisper fade into silence, every attempt of envy dissolve into nothingness. Virgo, you are not fragile. You are fortified. Imagine yourself walking through a storm of voices, yet none of them touch you. Around you glows a shield, radiant and unshakable. The winds may howl, but your steps remain steady. The rain may fall, but you emerge untouched. This is the truth of the decree. It does not remove storms. It makes you untouchable within them. Anchor it further by sharing it aloud where it can echo. Write it, speak it, let it be witnessed. I claim my shield. In doing so, you join your voice to a current larger than yourself, multiplying its power. When many declare protection together, the vibration spreads, and the shield becomes collective as well as personal. So walk forward, Virgo, with certainty. The haters stirred, but they could not harm. The test rose, but you did not fall. Your shield is sealed, your path is secure, and your abundance flows. Tonight you walk through the storm, untouched and unstoppable.